Good morning. My name is Ricky Munguia. I am a pre-law student interested in negligence cases. I understand that you have some information pertaining to Jane Mason and Virginia Packman, the case that involves them too. So I'm basically hoping to gather some more information, more facts from you today. And I would like to go ahead and record and take notes, of course, with your permission. Do we have your permission to record and take notes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So the interview itself shouldn't take no longer than 10 minutes. And when we're done here, I can email you those notes and recording.
Okay.
Okay. So can you give me a brief description of what happened that day that Jane Mason was injured?
I think that there was an accident or maybe an incident at Miss Packman's home uh, while they were having dinner.
Are you able to clarify the relationship between Jane Mason and Virginia Packman?
I believe they were acquaintances or friends and neighbors.
And you said the injury to Miss Jane Mason. Are you able to recall where that injury was located?
I'm aware that Miss Mason had an injury to her foot.
Now, can you remember if anyone else was involved when this incident took place?
I don't believe so. I think that the injury or to Miss Mason's foot happened while she was at Miss Packman's home. I know the spouses may have been there in the same home. I think it was they were having dinner. Now I don't know if they were together when the accident happened or not, or who witnessed the accident or the injury. I couldn't speak to that.
You said you mentioned that it was a dinner. Was this just a regular day dinner? Was it a special event? Was it public?
I don't know. I think it was. It's been a while. I think it was last year when it happened, and I think it was around Thanksgiving. It may have been a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay. Now, are you able to recall the leading moments that led up to when the injury took place?
Uh, like I said, I couldn't speak to that. I know that it happened in her home uh, while they were at a dinner, possibly Thanksgiving. But I don't know if anything led up to if it was an accident. I mean, it was a spur of the moment thing. So or any type of injury, I think it would be in the moment. I don't think anything led up to it.
Okay. And can you recall what caused the injury?
Something to her happened to her foot. Uh, I believe she sustained like some kind of trauma to her foot. I don't know if it was what exactly it was, but I know that she was. They called it Miss Packman, I believe, called an ambulance and accompanied her to the emergency room.
Okay. Now, from my knowledge, Jane Mason is suing Virginia Packman. Do you have any idea as to why she would want to sue Virginia?
I mean, this is just me guessing, but I believe that maybe she holds Miss Packman responsible because it was in her home. Maybe an insurance claim. I think I would think.
And are you able to remember any conversations or details, again, possibly leading up to that moment or even earlier in the day?
I mean, you always hear things, uh, in regards to when, gossip and things like that. But I don't pay too much attention to that. It's like I said, I think they were at a dinner, and I think something happened at the dinner. Injury. Miss Mason sustained an injury from possibly an accident. I don't believe it was anything. I don't. I wouldn't venture to think it was something purpose. it was purposely done. Like I said, they were together at a dinner, and you normally don't invite someone over to your house for Thanksgiving dinner that you're not close to. I mean, I'm just spitballing, trying to maybe uh, give you an answer to your question. But no, I don't think anything led up to the event.
Okay. You mentioned that their spouses were also there um, when this took place, but are you aware if they were in the same room when the injury occurred?
I I can't say exactly, but I know they were in the same house.
And when they left to the ambulance, Jane Mason and Virginia Packman, are you able to recall their um, expressions, maybe conversations, leaving to the ambulance, arriving to the hospital? Were there any details at the hospital that you can recall?
Uh, Not really. I would think that if Miss Packman accompanied Miss Mason to the hospital, I believe she would be concerned for her friend. I think. I mean, the actions speak for themselves. So
Okay. And what do you think really happened that day with, Virginia and Jane being inviting one another for a family dinner? We would think that their relationship is pretty cordial. But now Jane is suing Miss Virginia. What do you think really happened that day and why possibly Jane would want to sue Miss Virginia?
I mean, in looking back at towards the beginning of our interview, um, I mean, I think that everything kind of speaks for itself. I think they were having dinner together, and an accident happened, or an incident happened at Miss Packman's home, and now Miss Mason believes that Miss Packman is responsible in some way, and they weren't able to resolve their issues, and now they're going to let a judge decide for them.
Okay. Is there anything else that maybe you'd like to share or state that you didn't get a chance to speak of?
No, I mean, I think I've said enough about the situation as far as what I believe happened. I think that if there was a hearing, and the judge deemed that the evidence was enough to proceed to a jury trial, I think that we'll find out more during the trial.
Okay. Well, I think I've got pretty much all the information I need. This concludes the end of our interview. If you don't have any questions for me, by chance, do you have any questions?
No,
No? Okay, perfect. So once I hang up here, I will email you the recording and the notes. And I want to thank you for being here and being transparent and hope you have a good day.
thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye bye.